Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today is all about strip screws and drum hardware. It's indoor percussion time. Got to make things go for the drummers. Let me get set up. Come join me. Well, howdy friends. What we're working on today is saving your drum hardware. This is an important thing. Manufacturers seem to change all the time, or they come out with new models and do away with old stuff, and not everybody's on top of the cutting edge, or you have something new and the bolt strips out or whatever. This one, keep going, does nothing but spin. In fact, it comes right on out. As you can see, the threads are just completely shot. Let's say that you buy a new bolt. Well, it just falls right in because the threads are messed up. I'm going to show you how to fix that right now. Friends, the Heli-Coil method will work with anything that has bolt and receiver threading like this. It was developed, of course, for an engine, so it works mainly for cars, but we found other uses for it as well. This is a two-piece unit. I've taken the rod out of the original piece. We're going to have to pull this apart. It's got screws here and here. While I do that, I made this other video talking about this box here. It's going to have all of our kit in it. Okay, so watch that and I'll be done. Okay, so here's the list of things that we're going to be needing for this project. Of course, we're going to need our drill and we're going to need a hammer. I'll show you about those. We're going to need to know the size and thread pitch of your screws. That's going to determine which Heli-Coil kit that you go and buy. A Heli-Coil kit comes with these items here. Comes with a tap, the Heli-Coils themselves, and the Heli-Coil tool. On the tap, it's going to say, in our case, this is a 5/16 18. And it's going to tell us to use with drill number 21/64. So that's what we're going to do. You'll need your drill bit of 21/64. You'll want a tap holder so that you can hold your tap to make sure that you have it in the center. Once you have it tapped, you're going to drive it with this. And so what happens is this actually becomes your new inner threads. So we're basically making a bridge. These threads, this is going to be the inside and fit this now. And this size is going to be what fits into our part. Okay? If there is enough material on your old bolts, then you can chase them with a die from your tap and die set. Once everything is in place and it's time to drive the Heli-Coil, cut the nib, you're going to use this hammer. Okay, let's jump into the repair. I suggest when you are drilling a hole that has to go quite a bit oversized, that you use a vise. Line it up. It's going to pop right through just like that. Nice and clean. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the tap. I like to use just a little bit of oil. You can use valve oil or anything that you have around your band room. You want to make sure as you do this that you are straight both vertically and not going off side to side. So I'm going to be periodically checking this as I get started. If my ugly head pops into the frame. Okay, you can feel the tap bite. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let it grab on, and once we get solid. We're going to turn a couple of times and a half twist back. Turn a couple, a little half twist back. And what you'll see down here is shavings coming out. And a half twist back. And we continue. When you feel the tap come out the other side, the bottom of it, then all of the threads are now cut. And so you can just spin it down. And then bring it back out. And you can see all of these shavings. And this is our new threads that we cut. Hey, you did a good job on that. Okay, the next thing for our repair is to install the Heli-Coil. So in order to do this, we'll just drop this right onto that. Okay. And now we thread the Heli-Coil in. The Heli-Coil will only go in one direction. So you can't see, it won't go backwards. You're committed. Now, you want to make sure that you get your Heli-Coil. See, it's still above. Check it. You typically want it to go down onto, you want to be able to see the original first thread, and then the Heli-Coil starts. And so that looks really nice to me. Now you see we have some sticking out the bottom. Now your new purchased replacement part will drop right in and screw right in with no problem. So there you go. Now, let's see if we can do something else. This screw looks like it's just caked up with some stuff, doesn't it? So I wonder if we can actually re-tap that. We got two chances. Let me grab my taps and dies. Let's see what we can do about this. Okay, we're going to drop this into the vise. I'm going to grab some oil. And we're only out a couple of strokes if it doesn't work. So you always want to make certain that you get a positive start. Great when it's already about the same size that it's gonna go on there a little easier than just starting from scratch. But I still wanted to put a little bit of oil on there, and as it grabs, I want to make a turn and maybe make 2 turns, but then I'm going to want to go back a half turn. And what happens is it releases the shavings. And you can feel it kind of let up. This is especially helpful when you're tapping something from scratch. When you're just dressing the threads kind of like this, it's not as important. Now I can feel it getting down into where the old threads were laid to rest on. So if you have a vise in your band room or your drum shop or your drum room, then this is probably something that you can handle without having, if you don't have replacement parts nearby. Okay, and then once you have it, you go all the way down See, that was old thread that just came off of that. Let's check it out. Oh, you can see where I stopped. Yeah, see, you can see where I stopped. Let's go ahead and chase the rest of those down. We'll just drop it back on. And it should just line right back up. Yep. And you'll know when you hit that. Oh, there it is. Ka-konk. And so we're going to go in and just do that. And we're going to do it all the way down to the shoulder. You see all those little pieces of thread junk? Look at that. We chase those threads. I think that's going to work. Okay. All right, so this is the bolt that we saved. And there we go. Look at that. Lines right up. Okay, but now look what we got. Remember that tab is right there. See? Okay? So we have to get rid of that guy. We're going to break this out with a punch. So, the first thing we do is we drill the hole. We tap the hole to our threads. You can try to retap your original, or you buy a replacement part. The last step will be to hammer and break out the notch of our piece. Okay, we're going to set up for that punch. The little tab comes off. Now your screw, your threads are all repaired. And this is our original. Comes through the bottom. Okay, now we just have to reassemble. Okay, so then now that we have that done, you'll remember our guy that was working. Nice and tight. And then the one that we just repaired. Okay, so we get that. Threads right in. Moving all around. Boom. Tight. So there you go. That's how you use Heli-Coils. Well, thanks everybody for joining me in the shop today as we were talking about how to fix your drum hardware. Wish everybody all the best of luck during this indoor percussion theater season. A lot of big things happening for a lot of great schools. It's a fun and fast-growing activity. It's definitely high energy. So good luck to everybody out there. Drop a Heli-Coil kit and a couple of extra replacement bolts, and you'll be ready in case you need it. Something to add to your kit. Thanks for joining me. See you next time, everybody.